Welcome back to Morning Rush. This morning we're kicking off Simplify Your Life Week. It's a time dedicated to decluttering and streamlining, but not just physical clutter that might be inside your house, also psychological clutter that can prevent us from living peaceful and stress-free lives. Dr. Jenny Wu joins us now. She's a Harvard-trained educator and emotional intelligence researcher with some expert-backed tips for us. Thank you so much for joining us here on Morning Rush. So, when it comes to mental clutter, will you really explain what that means, what's behind it, and do we have to have a Harvard education like you to really understand it?
Well, first of all, absolutely not. Mental or psychological clutter are essentially these overwhelming, disorganized thoughts, emotions, and stress that we're holding on to that are crowding out our mind. And, factors and causes could include very much we live in this age of information, age of AI, and we're constantly being bombarded with information externally, aside from internally, that are designed to grab our attention. And of course, on the phone, doing the infinite scrolling, and before we know it, we're sort of in this down in the rabbit hole along with social media. And so we are constantly distracted by these thoughts and holding on to them and thinking what others are doing, trends we need to follow, and the pressures that we're dealing with. And so it can feel very overwhelming and paralyzing, right? So this drains our energy, staying focused, right? Instead, we're distracted, we're feeling overwhelmed, feeling helpless, and it increases our anxiety and stress level, making it really, really tough to live in the present. And, the solution is you don't have to be a Harvard trained, anybody can implement easy exercises and habits such as the circle of control to be able to do that. So for example, you can drop 2 circles and one, write down the things that you're worried about, your fears, circle of clutter, because these are the things that you absolutely cannot control. On the other hand, draw the circle to include the list of things that you actually can control. So those are your reactions, your actions, and focus on this circle of control. And that is where you should be implementing your energy. And once you've written down the circle of clutter, really put it away and, think less about it.
And when those thoughts come back for those circle of things that you can't control, what are some tips and strategies to manage the anxiety that comes, even if you know, okay, this is out of my control, but I can't stop getting those intrusive thoughts, poking into my brain and into my consciousness? What are your tips for helping to kind of stave that off?
Yeah, we tend to ruminate a whole lot, especially big things that are top of the mind. When that happens, practice taking 3 deep breaths and really focus on the exhaling part. And that lowers our stress. It tricks our body, our parasympathetic system, to really understand I am okay. Right? And make sure you repeat something to yourself, very much like what you just said, Alexa, to say, this is out of my control. I will take it one step at a time. And of course, being with friends, having someone to talk to is also really important to help you understand the reality side of things.
Some really good tips, especially as we are in such a busy news cycle, a busy election year. There's so much going on, as you said. Harvard-trained educator and emotional intelligence researcher, Dr. Jenny Wu. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you.